Hi guys, welcome back to 17 square meters garden. Today I'm going to my in-laws balcony. I showed you this balcony several times on this channel. I planted some planters for summer, for fall. So today I'm going on their balcony. I'm gonna be planting some stuff for spring and summer interest. I have some leftover bulbs, spring bulbs to plant. I have some plants that grew from seeds and from cuttings. So normally I wouldn't plant anything in January, but it's been actually quite mild, and honestly I have these plants here standing on my balcony since summer, and it's been freezing cold in December and the soil was completely frozen, and these poor plants were standing here in their tiny plastic pots and they survived. So in all cases they are better off planted on their south-facing balcony rather than be standing on the floor on my cold north-facing balcony. So let me show you what I'm taking with me today. So here's a region Carvinskianus. I grew one of those plants on my balcony and I propagated it through cuttings. So now I have 2 additional pots, and I'm gonna be giving one of these pots to them because I think they have just like a small container where I could plant it and it will look really cute in summer. It has a lot of white, pinkish, daisy-like flowers, and I think it will bloom and generally grow better on their south-facing balcony in a sunny location than in my part shade here on the north-facing balcony. And I also will be taking this, I have 3 plants here of foxgloves. I grew them from seeds. I planted I think 3 or 4 on my balcony, and I have 3 left. They grow really tall stems with tubular white and pinkish flowers. They attract pollinators, so I think that will be a very pretty vertical accent on their balcony. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab some bulbs from the inside of my apartment and then we can go. Okay, you guys, I have arrived on their balcony. It's a bit sunny, sorry. As I said, the balcony is facing south, so the sun is kind of bothering right now. I'm gonna show you how the balcony looks before we start. I'm gonna also give you an update on these planters. If you're searching for the video where I planted them, I think it's called Planting Balcony Pots for Autumn, Winter and Spring. There are spring bulbs underneath, and as you can see, the compositions are holding up really well. I'm really surprised how well they look. They've been through a frost and crazy winds and all kinds of weather conditions, and they look amazing, all of them. And today I'm gonna take care of this corner. As you can see, they have some rose, they have a jasmine that is climbing all over the trellis. They have plenty of avocados. They planted just randomly some avocado pits, and there's like plenty of little avocado trees that grew, which they want to remove. They don't want to keep it. It was just for fun. Then I think here they had some sage and some verbena in here that actually died, so I'm gonna remove them. And we have some 2 viburnum bushes. They also want to remove it because actually I think they pruned it at the wrong time of the year, because I see there is one flower just on the side, because viburnum flowers in winter, and I think in fall they cut it back. When you don't really know what plants you grow and when you don't know what time of the year they flower, it's really easy to make a mistake, and then you prune them at the wrong time, and then you think that, oh, they just look ugly, they never flower. But it's really important to know when your plants are flowering, to know when to prune them. But in all cases, I will remove these 2 viburnums, and in this container we are gonna plant bulbs. Here we are gonna plant a Region Carvinskianus, and in these 2 containers I'm gonna plant foxgloves, because foxgloves grow really tall, so they will provide a really cute vertical accent here in spring. So let's first empty the pots and then let's plant. Okay, so I'm gonna start planting bulbs. I have a mix of daffodils, different colors of daffodils, yellows, creamy whites and whites, and I also took some tulip bulbs. It is white triumphator. They are really pretty with pointy white petals. So I'm gonna mix them because the bulbs are quite around the same size. As you can see, I'm gonna plant them both at the same depth. Okay, you guys, please excuse me my dirty hands, but I was just about to plant this Erigean and I noticed something that I really want to show you. Do you see these little transparent balls? These are slugs' eggs. So if I plant this plant like this in spring, all of these eggs will transform into a baby slug that will devour this plant. So if you see something like this in your pots, definitely remove as much as you can. Obviously you can't remove all of them. I'm gonna just take them like this by hand. You see how many there are? Like just look at this. So I'm gonna just take it by hand, just like that, and I'm gonna throw it into the garbage bag. Here are the planters, all planted with fresh plants. So as you could see, bulbs are here and the two foxgloves in here. And you see they have a lot of space around. I mean, if you really wanted, you could put two plants in each pot. But then something to keep in mind is that the foxgloves, they have really large leaves. They will grow more leaves in spring once they actually start growing. And the leaves take a lot of space, so if you plant them too close, after the leaves are too close to each other, and that's a perfect hideout for pests, and also this could cause them to, to compete with one another and then not grow nicely and healthy. So it's best to give them as much space as you can. This way they don't compete with each other, and yeah, I think it will look even better because you have one in here, and oftentimes they grow those side shoots, so they are gonna fill in this space beautifully with plenty of flowers. And here on the floor we have Erigean carvinskianus. Also, there's plenty of space around because Erigean grows quite rapidly, and the flowers are gonna kind of fall a little. It's not a trailing plant, but they are gonna just like gently fall from the pot, creating a mound of beautiful daisy-like flowers. In spring, once all of these flowers will start to bloom, it would be a good idea to give them organic fertilizer or any other fertilizer, but organic would be preferred because that's just really nice for soil life. So yeah, fertilizing them with an organic fertilizer would be a good idea to provide them with nutrients that they need to grow healthy and to bloom beautifully. Okay, so that's it, and obviously it doesn't look amazing right now, but I think that's just the beauty of planting things in winter. It doesn't look amazing immediately, but then you know that once spring rolls in, you'll have daffodils, you'll have tulips, and later on, early summer, foxgloves are gonna bloom and Erigean is gonna bloom, so it's gonna look really pretty in here in a couple of months. And I really wanted to show you how this project starts, so then in summer, if I give you some updates, which I really hope I will be able to, then you will see, the project from the beginning until the end, and I think that's really awesome. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye!